Hello and welcome to another update video about AGIX. So we have seen some red candles, which might be a first clue that here a more substantial sell-off is happening. Talked about this channel yesterday in the video, and this to be an ascending broadening wedge, which is typically a bearish pattern. So the let's call it the sell-off warning was definitely there. So let's see how far this could carry on. Either way, the overall count here is still that we probably moved up in 5 waves, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and those 5 waves are part of a wave 3 here, which could now come down in the 4th wave. So if we now measure the length of the 3rd wave, so you might see that better on the 4-hour chart actually. Let's go to the 4-hour chart and zoom in a bit. So there you go. So we can make an argument here that we had here a 1-2 setup. Just have the log chart highlighted here because otherwise you won't see it really well. That this was a 1-2 setup with a very complex ABC structure here, or WXY. So what we can do is measure the Fibs based on the low of that wave 2 all the way up to the top of the 3rd wave. So we're going to zoom in and make that a bit more accurate in a minute. But the key is we want to identify here the key target now for the current decline. So to do that, we need to measure the length of the 3rd wave, and then we can formulate the target. So I'm going to take one of the trend lines out now because otherwise it will just block our screen. And important is here to pick the top and the lows, so the high and the lows of the oops, don't know, it might have moved everything now, I don't know why. So 1 second. To pick the top and the lows here of the waves. Yeah, that seems to be okay. And there we go. So key target now for a wave 4 has already been reached. Yeah, it's always between the 23.6 Fib and the 50% Fib, with the 23.6 Fib being not a very ideal target. The reason for that is that it's just very shallow. And we've already dipped below the 23.6 Fib here at 52.2 cents. And because we already dropped below it, it makes it quite likely that we should see at least the 38.2 Fib, which is the ideal target for a 4th wave, here at 42.9 cents. And let's say an even better target might be here the 50% Fib level. It would at least be a better target for anybody who wants to scale in. Important to note here is that wave 4 would normally not go below the 50% retracement. If it does so, it is in most cases not a wave 4 anymore. We would then have to assume we might be in some kind of a wave 2 already maybe. So that would mean a deeper retracement, yeah. But what is generally the ideal target from a market point of view is the 38.2 Fib, in this case 42.9 cents. And then, yeah, we talk about the 50% afterwards if this one breaks. Now, we currently come down quite impulsively. So price action at the moment would suggest it might just be an A wave. So internet is quite a bit slow, but what you normally get in these corrections, if you see a 5 wave move down, it might only be the A wave. So it seems like at the moment we are broadly reacting to this trend line. We don't really have enough information. It seems at the moment the trend line is broken, but it's sometimes a bit subjective. But at the moment it would appear to me the trend line is broken. And it also looks like that we have 5 waves down, yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, and maybe 5. So let's just zoom in. Internet is, I don't know what's going on here, but what you want here, you're offline, I don't know why. But either way, just a quick explanation, I'm just going to reconnect here. A quick explanation, important is to understand that also a wave 4 correction would normally consist of 3 waves. So you normally get an A wave, you get a B wave, and you get a C wave. Now the A wave is in many cases a 5 wave move. And the B wave would be a 3 wave move, and then you get the C wave, which is another 5 wave move. Which indicates that, yeah, hey, if we get 5 waves down, it could really only be the first wave of that wave 4 decline. Yeah, sometimes you get a wave 4 which is a triangle, and if the wave 4 is a triangle, you will normally get quite a bit of just sideways action, boring sideways action. So that typically can take quite a few, let's say, days or even weeks, depending on the strength of the increase before. You need to know that, because when you see a decline like that, if it's 5 waves, it makes it unlikely that it becomes a triangle, because a triangle consists of, yes, of 5 waves, but it's sideways movement, and these 5 waves would normally consist of 3 waves each, which means this move down should ideally be in in 3 waves if we want to expect here a triangle. So now I can connect again. I did restart my hotspot here in parallel and it's connecting now. So apologies for that, but I used it for an educational session. Don't really want to cut it out. So 5 waves, you can see that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, in a most simple form. Might be finished, might not be finished, doesn't really look finished yet, but we're fighting with a trend line at this stage. So if we talk about this, A wave, B wave, C wave would be ideal. Let's see. And yeah, it was, in my opinion, a good decision to take some profits in the last few days. And I highlighted to you, and that's very important, that because the market is and was so overheated, you can see this swing around very quickly. So what I cannot guarantee to you, of course, is that this is only a wave 4. I mean, it could be a wave 2 if the higher degree assumption is incorrect, which means we wouldn't find support in this area. In the area of it being a wave 2, it could fall down lower, maybe here even, to the 61.8 Fib at 27.9. At this point somewhere, maybe around the 50%, I will start to scale in a bit again. Because then I had made some nice profits, maybe even already at the 38.2. I'll see that, not sure yet. And then the 78.6 would be at 17.26 cents. Yeah, a drop below that would indicate this whole move up was just a corrective move and basically a fake out. So what we need to do is now need to observe those Fib levels. Possibly now hitting the 38.2 Fib or going up at any moment in a B wave, and then coming down in C, and ideally eventually this wave 4 does not break below these levels here, the 38.2 or the 50%. If it does, we can watch if it's holding wave 2 support, and I will make you aware. But yeah, it's good to see finally a bit of a correction. I know a lot of people waited for it. I can only encourage, if you make the right decision for yourself, nobody can really recommend it. Oh, by the way, nobody can tell you what to do, because it depends on your portfolio. By the way, this was not a 1-2 setup, so yeah, it's probably not finished. It is not a 5-wave move. Yeah, I have to correct that. As you can see here, this high was higher than this one. So what we probably see here, I would say, is at the moment only 3 waves, as it seems. Maybe a 1, 2, very shallow 2, here 3, then a 4 and a 5. So yeah, I will have to observe that for you, but it doesn't look finished at this stage, this move down. It doesn't look finished. I mean, what could be is this was the A, a very shallow B, and a C. But then what we need to use is the Fib levels here as key support. So that would be the next one at the 38.2. Sorry, I'm on the 5-minute chart. 38.2 Fib at 42.9 cents and the 50% Fib at 35.4. We are now in the target area. Ideally, we're turning around from here. Again, it's all about, if you want to scale in, you can do that in here, but be aware, the higher you are in the box, the risk is higher, because really the invalidation of the wave 4, not really invalidation, but a wave 4 doesn't really get invalidated until it breaks into the wave 1 price region, which is somewhere down here. I think at around 9.6 cents, but it's pointless because I would count it as a wave 2 by then, and maybe even a failed impulse. So normally a wave 4 doesn't drop below the 50% level. So you can set the stop loss there if you would like to, below the 50% somewhere, and make the right buying decision for you if you want to scale in this dip. I don't do it yet. I'm still happy with my holdings, and if it drops further, I might reconsider just jumping on the train, and that's what I use these pullbacks for. So I hope you liked the update about AGIX. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment and subscribe. And if you really like the content, then please check out the channel membership. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye bye.